to protect his political interests and punish a rival. Calls for impeachment growing after a new revelation that President Trump personally ordered nearly $400 million of aid to be withheld from Ukraine just days before his call with their leader, where he encouraged an investigation into political rival Joe Biden. The president insists now he did nothing wrong, as Democrats plan to meet this afternoon to talk impeachment.
Breaking news, chaos in the UK. The major court ruling just in, saying Prime Minister Boris Johnson broke the law when he suspended Parliament. Terror plot foiled. Disturbing new details about an active duty U.S. soldier arrested for allegedly discussing attacks on the U.S., targeting a major news network and a presidential candidate.
Wicked weather. Monsoon storms pounding the southwest, turning roads into rivers. Passengers stuck on this flight trying to land 3 times in the storm.
Oprah's health scare, revealing a very serious bout of pneumonia that landed her in the ER. Her warning for everyone this morning.
A GMA exclusive. Demi Moore with Diane Sawyer, pulling back the curtain on her marriage with Bruce Willis, and the moment she fell for 25-year-old Ashton Kutcher.
I just felt like a 15-year-old girl hoping somebody liked me. That's all true.
The pregnancy, the struggles with sobriety, and the news about Ashton she got on the red carpet that changed everything. The interview only on GMA.
And ballroom shocker. The surprise elimination overnight. The supreme Mary Wilson sent packing, stunning the audience and the judges. Now she's speaking out on GMA.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
We do say Good Morning America. I have to say that was a bit of a surprise in the ballroom.
Big surprise. Mary Wilson, she has so many of us, so many fans rooting for her. And you could tell it was really a tough elimination last night. And she spoke to GMA right from the ballroom, and that is ahead on this show.
Coming up in a bit, but first, that breaking news overnight. President Trump personally ordered the suspension of hundreds of millions of dollars in military aid to Ukraine just days before he encouraged their president to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden. This development is fueling new calls to open impeachment proceedings in the House.
Of course, all this as the president prepares to address the UN General Assembly here in New York today. Our chief White House correspondent, John Carl, is there with the latest. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Robin. As the president prepares to take the world stage here at the United Nations, this new development, breaking new developments in the Ukraine controversy, raising new questions about whether or not the president pressured a foreign leader to investigate a political rival. ABC News has confirmed reports that days before he talked to the president of Ukraine about investigating Joe Biden, President Trump himself ordered his chief of staff to withhold some $400 million in military aid to Ukraine. This revelation comes as pressure to begin impeachment hearings grows from previously reluctant Democrats.
I don't know how I live in a country, I help lead a country that allows a president of the United States to openly admit to this kind of corruption and get away with it.
And now 7 more House Democrats are joining the call to impeach, writing in an op-ed in the Washington Post that, quote, these new allegations are a threat to all we have sworn to protect. The president still insists there was no quid pro quo.
I did not make a statement that you have to do this or I'm not going to give you aid. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
But earlier in the day, the president seemed to acknowledge he did consider withholding aid unless the investigation went forward.
We're supporting a country. We want to make sure that country is honest. Why would you give money to a country that you think is corrupt?
The president also suggested it wouldn't have been wrong if he did do it.
I think it would probably, possibly have been okay if I did, but I didn't. I didn't put any pressure on them whatsoever.
On the eve of his UN speech, the president dispatched Vice President Pence to Fox News to defend his actions.
He mentioned Vice President Biden and his son in the context of us wanting to see honest government.
And while there has been no evidence of any wrongdoing, Joe Biden's son Hunter did make tens of thousands of dollars a month working for a Ukrainian company while his father was vice president. Biden on Twitter is urging the president to release the transcript of his call with the Ukrainian president. Among the world leaders the president will meet with tomorrow here in New York is the president of Ukraine, President Zelensky, who has not yet talked about any of this, George. Meanwhile, I am told that there is serious consideration at the White House of going forward and releasing the transcript of the president's conversations with President Zelensky.
So they might release the transcript, but still holding the line on releasing that whistleblower complaint?
It sure seems. I see absolutely no indication that they are going to budge at all on that. And of course, that is the demand from Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi.
Okay, John Carl, thanks very much. Let's bring in our senior congressional correspondent, Mary Bruce, for more on that right now. And Mary, this development that John just reported on overnight, 7 House freshman Democrats who've been reluctant to move on impeachment now say it's time to go forward.
Yeah, George, this is a very big deal. This is a group of freshman Democrats from swing districts who could be vulnerable if impeachment backfires politically on Democrats. Pelosi has been reluctant to go down this road in part because she wants to protect these seats. These are her so-called majority makers, and now these members are telling the speaker to go for it. They write that this flagrant disregard for the law cannot stand, saying if these allegations are true, we believe these actions represent an impeachable offense. George, they are clearly giving the speaker political cover here to consider impeachment, and they are not alone. We are now seeing some of Pelosi's closest allies saying this is a turning point.
And she is really taking charge of this issue today in the House.
George, this is going to be a pivotal day. The speaker is going to be sitting down with the chairman of the committees who are investigating this matter, and then she's going to huddle with all of her members, every single Democrat in the House, to try and chart a path forward. The big question for the speaker now is, can she stem this rising tide? We now have 60%, more than 60% of her members who support impeachment. Now, Pelosi all along has been saying she needs 2 things in order to go down this road. She needs Republican support and buy-in from the public. Right now, she has neither. But, George, this is a matter of national security. And the more that we learn about these revelations, the more the speaker is opening the door to consider impeachment.
Seems to be in something of a new place. Mary Bruce, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. And now to breaking news overseas. There's chaos in the UK this morning over a new ruling that Prime Minister Boris Johnson broke the law when he advised the Queen to suspend Parliament. Ian Panel is there outside Parliament with the latest. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. And wow, what an explosive ruling, politically, constitutionally and legally unprecedented. And today, one of America's closest allies is in a state of chaos, and the future of one of President Trump's favorite leaders is thrown into doubt. Now, what's just happened is that Britain's Supreme Court has ruled that Boris Johnson's advice to the Queen to suspend Parliament behind me was unlawful. Now, he said it was to allow time to develop new policies, but with the Brexit deadline looming, his opponent said it was just to stop debate. Now, technically, the Houses of Parliament can get back to business. It's actually empty at the moment. Downing Street has called this an extraordinary judgment. And now Boris Johnson, who's currently where you are in New York at the UN General Assembly, must decide if he returns here immediately. And when he does, he's likely to face calls to resign and a vote of no confidence, which he could well lose. Dramatic news. Watch this space. Robin?
Quite a development there, Ian. Thank you. Now to that terror plot uncovered involving a 24-year-old U.S. Army soldier arrested for allegedly discussing plans to attack the U.S. and a major American news network. Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas has those details for us. He's there in Washington. Good morning, Pierre.
Robin, good morning. The charges have left U.S. law enforcement deeply concerned. The FBI claiming an active-duty combat soldier wanted to join an Ukrainian paramilitary group that identifies with neo-Nazis, but also was allegedly discussing targets here at home. This morning, CNN saying it is the network allegedly discussed as a potential target by a U.S. Army infantry soldier trained in combat and tactical operations.
CNN was the major news network.
Jarrett William Smith, stationed at Fort Riley, Kansas, was arrested on Saturday after he allegedly talked to a confidential FBI source about placing a vehicle full of various explosive materials at the headquarters of a major news network. And Smith allegedly said, 30 minutes later, boom.
Anybody that talks on social media or to an undercover source about harming people, it's an immediate red light for the FBI to aggressively investigate it.
The FBI says it locked on to the 24-year-old Smith last March after receiving a tip he was allegedly using Facebook to distribute information about how to build improvised explosive devices. He also had allegedly been discussing joining Azov Battalion, the ultra-right-wing Ukrainian-based paramilitary group. According to the federal charges, the FBI took action last week after Smith also allegedly discussed assassinating a presidential candidate. In one chilling exchange with an undercover FBI operative, the undercover asked, "You got anyone down in Texas that would be a good fit for fire, destruction, and death?" Smith allegedly suggests Beto O'Rourke. Authorities say a number of Smith's alleged bomb designs likely would not have worked, including that one that would have potentially targeted CNN's headquarters. But they say others were viable and potentially dangerous. Michael?
All right, thank you so much, Pierre. And now we're going to turn to the severe weather hitting the Southwest overnight. Torrential rain and hail, even a tornado touching down. Rescues around the Phoenix area and thousands without power. Ginger's here with the latest. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning to you, Michael. That is a tornado north of Phoenix, Arizona. So New River, Arizona is where we saw that rotation. There was actually damage reported from what could have been a tornado east of Tucson, too. So they had severe storms all over, something that they do get. They average 4 per year, but they haven't seen a tornado warning in Phoenix area since 2016. This is something they see every season, flash flooding. It was up to 3.5 inches of rain that caused close to 30 water rescues. So there will be more tropical moisture. There is still yet this morning that upper level low helping to lift up the atmosphere and then drop a lot of rain. So you're still in a flash flood watch all the way into far southwestern New Mexico and to a place that is somewhat more familiar with tornadoes. Iowa has a good shot at seeing it anywhere from Rochester, Minnesota down to Fort Dodge, Mason City included in that today, George.
Okay, Ginger, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to the teen activists taking on world leaders at the UN. An emotional Greta Thunberg made a passionate plea for action at the UN Climate Summit Monday. The Swedish girl has sparked a global youth movement on climate change, sailing to New York to reduce her carbon footprint before leading last week's climate strike here. Tom Yam is here with her story. Good morning, Tom.
George, good morning to you. Greta Thunberg is taking on climate change head on, pulling no punches. Her passionate speeches have drawn attention all over the world, and now she's on the president's radar as well. Overnight, the president seeming to mock this teenage activist with a sarcastic tweet.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean.
This morning, the United Nations still feeling the shockwaves of teenage climate activist Greta Thunberg.
People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
The new face of a younger generation, warning inaction by world leaders right now will lead to an irreversible climate disaster.
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
The Swedish teen also making headlines for this moment when she and President Trump crossed paths, some noting Thunberg's icy stare. The 16-year-old has castigated leaders like President Trump, who took the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Agreement for not focusing on climate change.
You all come to us young people for hope. How dare you?
Now, overnight, the president tweeting an emotional portion of Thunberg's remarks, writing, "She seems like a very happy young girl, looking forward to a bright and wonderful future. So nice to see." Many point out the president likely was sarcastic with that tweet.
Likely?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
Now to Oprah, speaking out about that health scare, saying she suffered from a very serious case of pneumonia, which forced her to cancel all her obligations. Eva Pilgrim is here with details. Eva, good thing that Oprah is on the mend, and she has a warning for everyone, doesn't she?
That's right. Oprah Winfrey says she's now looking at her health very differently after a tough fight with pneumonia this morning. She's warning others not to take any chances.
Please welcome Oprah Winfrey.
Talk show legend Oprah Winfrey opening up about her recent health scare with pneumonia.
I was on antibiotics for a week. The antibiotics weren't working. And then I went back for another CT scan, and they said, it's actually worse. You should see a lung specialist.
The media mogul telling Ellen DeGeneres the infection was so serious, her doctor pushed her to cancel all upcoming events and abstain from flying for a month.
So I go into the lung specialist. He puts a stethoscope here, and I see the face. It is like, oh my, something's wrong with you. And I can see it. He didn't hide it.
Pneumonia is a potentially deadly infection where fluid fills the air sacs of one or both lungs. About 50,000 people each year die from the disease in the United States. Winfrey is not the first high-profile name to suffer from bouts of pneumonia. Whoopi Goldberg battled double pneumonia and sepsis earlier this year.
This is a cautionary tale for all of us. Right. You must really take care of yourself because there's little tiny stuff out there that will kill you that you never think of.
Winfrey, too, now preaching a similar message.
But don't play with it and get your flu shots and get your pneumonia shots. It's nothing to play with. It takes people out.
And flu season is fast approaching. It starts in October, which is just days away, and it lasts until about May. And this is the time to get your flu shots. Doctors are warning this flu season doesn't look like it's going to be a good one, so take the precautions.
Yeah. Better safe than sorry. All right, Eva, thank you so much. And now to the new Jeopardy champ on an impressive winning streak. Jason is now in third place on the all-time money list. And does he have what it takes to overtake the two legends who are ahead of him? TJ Holmes is here, and he's spilling his secrets, TJ.
Yeah, his secret is I'm smarter than you are. That's the strategy. And everybody's hung up on this idea. This is a math teacher. This is a math teacher. This dude has degrees in mathematics. He has a degree in chemical engineering and a master's in statistics.
He's smart.
This is not just any math teacher. We just had Jeopardy James.
He could set a new one-day record with that total of 72,000.
Now say hello to Jeopardy Jason.
Music 16. Answer. Early double. I'd wager 4,000, please.
42-year-old Albuquerque math teacher Jason Zafraneri got his 17th win Monday night, bringing his total winnings to nearly $500,000.
$472,096.
Zafraneri now the third highest money winner ever behind Jeopardy legends Ken Jennings and James Holzhauer.
Only two players, Ken Jennings and James Holzhauer, have won more money in regular competition games.
Jeopardy Jason says he tried out for the show 9 times before nabbing a spot at the podium. His secret to success now?
One of the great champs who said, if you take a toilet paper roll, it has the feel and the look of the actual Jeopardy buzzer.
He struggles with the idea of being a Jeopardy champion and counted among the greats.
I'm not in the class of those guys at all, or many of the other big names that are in there. I think when things are all over, I'll just sit back and it'll finally sink in, man. Right now, it still doesn't feel real.
All right, and another thing, this guy represents the U.S. in the World Championships in Sudoku. Who knew that was a thing?
You all can weigh in on the pronunciation of that. We were debating it.
Is it Sudoku? Okay. But he has a ways to go, some perspective. He has won now 17 games. Ken Jennings won 74. You got a ways to go, but you can see him. He'll compete again tonight.
But is your name, you have to have a J in your name to be successful. You got Jennings, you got James, you got Jason.
Goes with Jeopardy. That's a key to success. Hear that, folks? Don't even try out if you don't have a J.
TJ Holmes, you're up next.
Does not work.
He's next. We are following a lot of other stories this morning, including Diane Sawyer's Demi Moore exclusive. She opens up about her marriage to Ashton Kutcher, her pregnancy and miscarriage. Also tells about a Google alert that changed everything for her. But first, Ginger's right here.
The power of a Google alert. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. We've got, if this doesn't look like September, I don't know what does. Jerry, Karen, Lorenzo, and a tropical wave. But Karen is the one we've been watching for that tropical storm to pass over Puerto Rico later today. What will that mean for Puerto Rico, Vieques, and the U.S. Virgin Islands? Potential for up to 8 inches of rain, so flash flooding, especially on that mountainous terrain in Puerto Rico. Jerry quickly will pass by Bermuda as a tropical storm. Let's get to the Tuesday trivia now, brought to you by Amazon.
Free one-day delivery on millions of items. With Prime.
A great day to get out. Breezy sunshine and low humidity. In fact, make sure you got the sunglasses ready to go for today. 73 degrees by 10 o'clock this morning. We heat up very quickly. Noontime, 77, and then 81 degrees by 4 p.m. today. Just a perfect kind of day to be out. Now, temperatures will start climbing closer to 90 degrees on Thursday. Still low humidity. Same thing for Friday. Humidity and temperatures close to 90 degrees back for your weekend, and a chance of rain late Sunday.
Sir is back with Demi Moore in just a minute.
You know that look?
That life of the party look. Walk it off look. 1 more mile look. Reply all look. Own your look with fewer lines.